So in this video, we are going to explore the Google Drive that we have access to through GNSPES. So when you go to your GNSPES launch page, you see a link that goes right to Drive. You can also type in drive.google.com and it should take you there, but you might have to, if you're not already signed in, you're going to have to log in anyway. It's a good idea to try and organize your drive into various folders so that your files are more organized. I recommend that over just a whole mass of files. This can be easier said than done, of course, to keep on top of organization, but it definitely does help. So in this case, I've made a HRA Tech Tips folder, which I'm going to drag in a file in order to share it with my wife, who's helping me out on this video. Since if we're going to share, it helps to have someone to share to. In this case, I just dragged and dropped the file in. You can also go to New and do a file or folder upload from there. And it will let you see files on your computer and upload them that way. With large files, it can take a while. It depends on your internet connection. So if it's a large movie, for example, be prepared to wait a little bit. Now, there's two ways we can share. We can share individual files. We can also share whole folders, depending how much we're expecting to share with people. It's a very similar process. So now my file is uploaded. I can either right click and go to share, or I can click it and go to the share button up here. You can share a video or other file with a link if you want anyone to be able to access it. If you're just trying to get it to a specific person, you can click up here and start typing their name. In this case, I'm sharing it to my wife, Lisa Allen. You can have it checked to notify people and write them a message. That's going to just send an email to their account about it. You can make them a viewer who can only look at it, a commenter who could make comments on it, particularly if it's a Google Doc, or you can make them an editor. That means they could change the file, or if it's a folder, they could add stuff to the folder or delete stuff. And once I'm ready, I click send. So I've shared the file to my wife. So we can see here's the email about it. We can open it from here, but we can also go to our Google Drive. I've got a folder ready that I'm going to want to organize it into. But first we have to find it. So if we haven't got to it straight from the email, we can go to Shared with Me. This shows all the files that have been shared with me, so we can see here, since I've zoomed in, that today this Zoom meeting setup video was shared with me. I don't always want to come back here necessarily to find it, so I'm going to add a shortcut to Drive, and I want to put it in my drive in this Discuss Tech Demo folder that I've made. And I'm going to add a shortcut. If we don't want to right click, we can also click on the file and use the three dots to get the menu in order to add the shortcut to Drive. So if I go back to my Drive and go to that tech demo folder, I now have a shortcut to that file. I can click on it, download it. If it's processed, I can go ahead and view it. And so that's a way to keep track of these things. If you're going to be sharing a lot of files, this is where sharing a whole folder with someone could be really useful, because then you just have to have a shortcut to one folder to see everything in it. If I know, for example, that a file was shared with me at some point called Zoom Meeting Setup, but I don't remember where I put it, I can do a search and it will find the file for me, which can be very handy as well. And once again, I can, in this case, it's found the shortcut and the file, and I could make another shortcut if I haven't already made one. So hopefully that takes out a little of the mystery of sharing files through Google Drive. It is a little finicky, but it's a very good way to share lots of information and material between teachers and students. With the education setup, there's no file limits, which is great when you're involved in creative endeavors and working with lots of people. So today we looked at sharing via GNSPES. We showed sharing a file or folder to someone. We showed how things show up in the shared with me section and how we can organize those items as well.